Yep.
Tell me how it's been going so far.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been fun. It's wearing a different hat this time. But I feel like my experiences leading up to it, you always kind of take something you like or see from other coaches and kind of grow from there. And then you kind of see like, hey, one day when I'm wearing that hat, what I want to do and what I didn't like seeing. So it's been fun to do that this time around.
So did this opportunity come to you?
Coach Carlisle. Yeah, he called me, kind of whispered. He said it maybe last summer. I was like, hey, one day you're gonna coach summer league, and you kind of can step into it and kind of feel running your team. So he kind of called me after the season and let me know.
That's something you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to be a head coach one day. Yeah.
How you doing, Coach? What has impressed you about Taelon, not only as a player but as a person?
Yeah, as a player, I would say, we knew he could shoot the ball really well. Just how he moves, like athletically, I think he's like a really underrated athlete. And as a person, I mean, he comes in willing to do whatever you ask, and when you want. If you say come 5 a.m., he's gonna be here at 5 a.m. He wants to put the work in and really work, make it in this NBA and this league.
Did you say you coached it 2 weeks ago, or after the season? Was that just like 2 weeks ago? Have you had time to think?
Yeah, it's been a quick turnaround with it's been a quick turnaround with the long season. Making the finals, which I always say is like it's a great problem to have. You make Game 7 to the NBA Finals every year. We'll take that, but we'll go straight into it. We had 4 days off, and we started working out guys and starting having practice coming here quick. So it was good.
With where the team is and where the roster's at, what do you think the biggest kind of goal is, or what are you trying to accomplish with Summer League this year?
Yeah, I would say just playing our brand of basketball, patient basketball, which is we're fast. We're going to compete, pick up full court, 40 minutes, in this game, 40 minutes, and work you. And we want to play fast offensively, get to spacing, and being unselfish, kind of like the foundation we built with the real team. We want to carry that to the Summer League and do that going forward, too.
How did Ty react when you told him you'd be coach at Summer League?
He was hyped. He was excited for me. He came for the first 2 practices, just show support and kind of give some words to our returning players. So he's been great for us.
How do you feel like your experience, Lakers games here, has kind of helped you build up to this moment? Is there any coach, even maybe before you got here, that you've taken stuff from that you're now applying?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every coach I've worked for, from college with Reggie Theus to Luke Walton in Sacramento and Coach Carlisle here and Lloyd Pierce and Jenny Buchek and Jim Boylan putting our system in. I mean, from there, and I've taken things from players, like learning from players. I'm always trying to learn from everyone. So it's been a full journey to get to where I'm at now, so it's been good.
How does Furf look compared to how he looked at this time last year?
Oh, man. He's looking good. Furphy he's really put time in this year on his body and putting on weight and athletically becoming better and just kind of like learning, the NBA is a transitional period and putting everything together, and he looks really good, and we just want to put him in a position to succeed and grow and keep growing and getting better with us and getting forward with the big team.
Has there been someone that's really popped through these first couple of practices that maybe has impressed you even more than what you thought they were capable of?
I would say everyone, man. I mean, everyone's been impressive in their own way, but I would say our kind of like basketball IQ. We have a lot of older rookies and players that were in the G League already or went through the process already. So just kind of be able to pick up like offensive and defensive terminologies and actions fairly quickly, which I feel like gives us kind of like a head start to get into Vegas.
What's one thing you want to take away from this experience?
Personally, I'd just say, the toughest thing is getting 15 guys that come from all different, different programs, different whatever, but get them on the same page within 4 days, 4 practices, before playing games. I think that's the fun challenge. Just kind of want to see, implementing that and seeing how we can do that at our best ability.
How are y'all? I was talking to Coach Dan a little bit. He's talking about how you impacted BJ and how he baptized after a few sessions with you. Why is it important to you to make a long-lasting impact on your teammates?
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't be here without, Jesus Christ, and I think that there's a bigger purpose. If you play the game for wins and losses, you're gonna ride the ups and downs of life. But if you can come out of it with lifelong relationships and ultimately use your platform to affect other people, I think that's why we're called to play this game. That's why God gifted me these talents. So.
With that being said, how are you hoping to just mature, not as a player, but as a young man in this league?
Yeah, obviously this is a higher stage. This is the highest stage. So, making it to this level with, everything that comes with that, and going at the challenge of staying who I am, staying in my true identity even when all these things rise and grow and all these opportunities, these doors open up, but to stay who I am throughout this whole process is what I'm looking forward to.
Where did you watch the draft at, or who? Did you at all?
Yeah, I did. I was watching it at my grandma's house, my granny, with my whole family, my wife's whole family, and my best friend's whole family. All my closest people in this small little house in this rural town called Alma. And we were sitting in a small living room, all on top of each other. So when my name got called, everybody jumped up, and then we all went outside and jumped in the pool with all our clothes on. We gotta act like we've been there before, but we haven't, so we didn't. So.
Were you expecting that to happen?
I knew I did everything that I could to get that opportunity, so I thought I put my best foot forward, so I might have an opportunity. But even if not, everybody there had the expectation of not getting drafted, so it was going to be cool either way.
How did you kind of, if you had to switch, might be the wrong word, but you were this track champion in high school, and I heard that's what you might have thought you were going to do after high school. When did you switch to be like, okay, basketball is my thing, I'm good at that?
Yeah, funny you asked that. I was on my flight to my visit at Tennessee Tech, for basketball. My track team was on their way to the first track tournament, and COVID actually, our school got canceled, the track meet got canceled and everything, so my senior year track season got canceled. I was on my flight to Tennessee Tech, they didn't have track. I figured that out, so when I was there, I ended up committing there on my visit, so it's crazy how it happened.
Wow.
All the places that you could have landed to land with a franchise like this, definitely on this upswing of success. Just what's that mean to have an opportunity at a place like this?
Yeah, it's always great to be on a winning team. A team that doesn't need you to come in and change the whole franchise is something that's better than to go into a place that needs and expects you to change the whole thing. So being able to come in here with guys who are on the up and learn from them, learn their habits, and learn what they do to win and be successful, and have time to settle in and adapt to what they're doing here is a blessing. So.
What was it like to have Tyrese, watching the workouts the last couple of days, to have an established star, watching you guys practice for some of you?
Yeah, something I've been working on the past couple of days from 2 weeks ago, watching the finals and being a huge fan of the NBA, not knowing if it was going to be my thing or not, to being here and, seeing people I never thought I'd see in person. So it's special, but it's something that I'll get used to here pretty soon.
How would you describe your game in your own words?
My game, I would say, first and foremost, I'm a winner. I do whatever the team needs to win. But I'm an energy guy. I'm a spark plug. I got comfortable last year with coming off the bench and coming in and making a spark in the game. But I would say, I can make threes, on the move, catch and shoot, and I'm a sneaky athlete. So if anybody wants to meet me there, I don't know what's live, what happened, but I can get up a little bit.
What are some of the areas that coaches or you yourself feel like you have to work on and develop to continue growing?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say probably my ball handling on offense. I'm in college. I was able to be a wing, a 2-3. Here, I'll be a 2, but I have to run the 1 sometimes. So my ball handling, and then also just defensive principles, defensive habits is something that will take my game to the next level that I'm looking forward to working on all year.
Does high jump state championship count as sneaky athlete?
Well, nobody really knows about my high school state championships, but now they might. So I might not be sneaking up on people.
When you have that kind of athleticism, at what point of your college career did you realize that the 3-ball should be or needed to be a part of your game and development?
Yeah, when I got to college, it's one of the things that's easiest to transfer from level to level, and I went D1, D2, D3, or D1 again, and then now here, and it's something that you can't take away from me. I can shoot it at any level. Being an athlete at the rim is going to be tough. Being 6'4", as the athletes get bigger and bigger, and everybody else can jump just how you can jump. It can be difficult to do that, but you can't take the 3 away. The 3 is always going to be there.
Daniel said you coined the term "play with that dog." What was the origin of that phrase?
Say that one more time.
Play with that dog. Play with the dog.
Yeah, you gotta play with that dog mentality, man. That's what everybody on this team does. That's why again, it's a blessing to be here with these young guys who all kind of had to get it out the mud, and they had to fight for everything that they had. So, and that's what I've been doing my whole life. So being able to be a part of this organization where I can learn from some of the guys that showed that on the highest level is something I'm really looking forward to.